All right, yeah, welcome once again to another RC Tune Talks, and I'm gonna show you, differential setup. But before I do that, a while back I did a session in regards to RC on a budget, and here is my yoga mat, and also the advantage is when one side gets a bit too messy, all you simply do is flip it over and there you go, brand new. All right, I'm working on a project where I'm turning the D3T trike, into a race machine. And just to give a little insight, just a sneak peek. Yep, so I've widened the rear end. So I'm gonna take the spool, the rear differential out of it, the spool, and put in this differential. Yeah, so I'm gonna install this one. So I'm gonna show you how to properly set up a differential, and that's the whole concept of today's session. Alright, so stay tuned and be back once I've laid out all the parts. Alright, so here are the parts laid out, and I've built quite a few differential over the years, so for me I don't really even need the manual, And this differential set from Tamiya, it works for the TA06 series of vehicle, whether it be the Pro or just a regular one. I know it works for the XV01 series also, and it works for the MO7 and the MO8 chassis. So this differential will work. So here you have the case, and then you have the bevel gears, then you have the out drives, you have the rubber seals, washer, the cross pins, and the pin to secure the inside the bevel gear. You have your gasket and your screws for screwing in the gear case. Now, what I tend to do sometimes is just apply a slight dab of grease on the gasket and also the rubber, so you get like some sort of thick grease or green slime or whatever it may be to use on the inside of the gear case and on the rubber and on the gasket. So I'm gonna do some installation, and let's see if I can get this going. So basically I'd do this underside first. You'd want to do this underside, and where you can put the oil in and let it kind of settle, get all the bubbles out while you build this section. So as an installation process, I would install this section first that holds the diff oil, and after installing and you insert your oil, then you start working on the other section. So I'll be back again once I've installed the bottom section and the top section and show you where you should allow the diff oil to settle, because some people tend to overfill and then that's when the problem kicks in. But just install the right amount of diff oil and you'll be fine, because I've never really had a diff problem over the years, so to speak, unless the diff started to wear out. But proper installation and you'll be fine. So remember, you can just put a little grease on the gasket and the grease the seal, the rubber seals. All right. All right, yeah, and just gonna show you what's what, but just to say first, with every product or most product, you get a manual. So if you're new to these kind of thing or setting up a diff, not sure, follow your manual instruction. Tamiya always have a good way of explaining things. So, just to say. Now what you're aiming for is when you install the oil, you just want it to cover the pins, and that's it. But slowly pour in the oil, and you slowly turn the out drive so you can work the bevel gears. you know, and the oil sits in, and you can take your screwdriver or whatever tool and just push it down a little to make sure everything is seated. Now, sometimes there's a cutout in the pins. Make sure they are seated in each other. So if you see a cutout in the pin, make sure they overlap each other and sits properly inside the gear case. So this is ready to go, and here we have the other section installed, and it's a case. You can just add this bevel gear and make sure it sits on the pin properly. And if you notice, there are 4 sections, and this is a gasket, and you've got these 4 points. As with most diff, you want to find the section where there's a cutout, and you want to look for that section and just pop it in, and that's it. And once you get it in, you just make sure all is seated, and you pop in your screws. Yep. And these screws, sometimes you have a Phillips screwdriver to put it in. So yeah, once you get everything installed, the screws for this is, a hex head, and it's 1.5. Yeah. So you just simply, carefully thread in, and just make sure the hex is seated in the head of the screw properly, and take your time and gently screw in. And you do the opposite, do them in a crisscross manner. So you do one first, then the other, and then you wanna do the other. So that's the whole concept. And there you go. Just tie them snug. Yeah. And do not over tighten either. And just make sure. Yeah. Alright, and that's it. And there you have your differential. Yep. Ready to go. Simple. Alright, so hope you learned something from that, and just an extra spare screw left. So I'm ready to install. Okay.